All right, so we're back with part 2 of dimensioning standards for Unit 7 of IED. So we left off with talking about arcs. So your arrows can be outside or inside for the small arcs, and they don't need center marks. Large arcs probably should have a center mark. Fillets. Fillets inside radius between two intersecting planes, or a round is an outside radius. Now, this can be a little confusing because we use the fillet tool for both fillets and rounds. So round is used to avoid sharp edges for safety, and fillet is used to provide strength in the inside. So fillets and rounds can make it easier to remove molded parts from molds. So even though we're using the fillet tool in Inventor, we still need to know the difference between a round and a fillet. Notice we have the radiuses of both listed here, and your large arcs get a center point. Circles. Full circles should be dimensioned using the diameter. Notice how you have the arrows going all the way across for the full circle. Holes use hole notes. This says it has a diameter of 0.5 inches and it has been drilled to a depth of 1 inch. So we'll get into hole notes as we work through the activity. Circles. Sometimes you can dimension a bunch of intersecting circles in this manner with providing a side view. This can get less complicated than putting the dimensions on the top view of the circle. So the diameter symbol is used so the dimensions are not assumed to be linear. Right? You also have some splines and curves. Points are placed along the contour of the spline, and we always want to dimension from a straight line. So this gives engineers an idea of kind of the slope of the spline at various points along the way. You see this in the dimensions of the truck windshield. Okay, so we want to pick a flat surface and then dimension up from there and then dimension across. So the datum is this corner point right here. Reference dimensions. Sometimes if you have multiple features in the same part that are identical, you can use the X for the number of occurrences. So 2X will indicate that there are two identical holes. So in this case, 2x, diameter of 0.25 through, and then it also has a counter bore. So instead of doing this every time there's the same feature, we just put 2x, and then it's known that the two things that look the same have the exact same dimensions. So radial patterns, angles, and radius values are used to locate the center. And we see here that this is a 45-degree angle of the pattern and then also a 30-degree angle of the pattern. This won't come up too often in the things that you're doing. So this is the end of dimensioning. Use this as you work through activity 7.1, where you're going to be asked to dimension various parts.